At the end of February, a Delta Airlines Airbus A330-200 was forced to make an emergency landing at Syracuse Hancock International Airport. The pilots chose to land on the airport's longest runway even though its edge and center lights were shut off. According to the crew, the aircraft was heavy and was approaching the airport quote-unquote a little fast. While Syracuse Airport can handle wide-body aircraft, most passenger planes operating at the airport are narrow bodies. The aircraft, registered as November 861 November Whiskey, was operating as DL-86 from Detroit to Frankfurt on Tuesday, February 27th. Data from FlightAware shows that the A330-200 took off and reached its cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. However, 43 minutes into the flight, data shows the aircraft entered a holding pattern and descended to 34,000 feet. The Aviation Herald reports that the pilots entered the hold due to a problem with one of the aircraft's Pratt & Whitney PW4168A engines. Around 20 nautical miles north of Syracuse, the crew declared an emergency and decided to land, advising ATC that they would perform an overweight landing. As per recordings of the conversation with ATC, the pilot had this to say to the tower: "Had some engine issues up at altitude, so it's a precautionary landing. We've got one engine in the front a little rough, so the company wanted us to land at the nearest suitable field, which is Syracuse." An aircraft traffic controller responded to the crew, informing them that the lights on the desired runway were not in working order, saying, "We don't have the 10/28 edge lights and the centerline lights appear to be not working at this time." However, one of the pilots said they would continue with their landing procedures due to the situation, responding to ATC with, "Delta 86, yeah, we're going to continue on runway 10/28, we're in an emergency." The pilot then said, "We're going to be a little fast and a little heavy coming in." The A330 landed safely on runway 28 nearly an hour and 45 minutes after departing from DTW. An individual who claims to be on the flight told Simple Flying, "I was on that flight and we heard two bangs and passengers in the rear saw puffs of fire coming out of the engine. The left engine was shut down to idle as it had an inconsistent vibration. The pilot landed hard and couldn't use reverse thrusters, so he rode the brakes to the end of the runway. There were no lights, just the ones from the snowplows and rescue vehicles." Notice to air missions, or NOTAMs, indicated that routine maintenance was being performed on the lights of runway 10/28, requiring them to be shut off. Although the flight crew was informed of the lights, it did not change their decision to land on the runway. A spokesperson from the airport said the pilot's decision to land on a longer runway during an emergency is common. What do you think of this incident? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.